All right, today we're going to go on a pretty amazing anatomical journey. We're going to follow just one sip of pomegranate juice right from the glass all the way down into the microscopic world inside your cells, just to see what it really does. So let's dive in.
So you take that sip. It tastes great, right? A little sweet, a little tart. But have you ever stopped to think about what's actually going on inside your body after that? I mean, where does it all go? And what does it do when it gets there? Well, we're about to find out.
We're going to trace its path with some incredible detail, watching it travel all through your system. Think of this as your own personal guided tour of your body. And that sip of pomegranate juice? That's our guide.
Okay, first things first, let's just map out the physical path. Section 1 is all about that internal journey, tracking the juice from the moment you drink it to the second it reaches its final destination deep inside your body.
This journey basically has 3 main stops on the itinerary. First up is ingestion, which happens as it enters your stomach. Second is absorption, and this is a really crucial step. That takes place in the intestines. And finally, distribution, when all the good stuff travels through your body in the bloodstream. So, our first stop, the stomach. And here we go, splashdown. The juice makes its grand entrance into the stomach. And right away, the digestive process kicks into gear. We've got powerful stomach acids and enzymes that immediately start breaking it all down, releasing all those valuable compounds. Now we've moved into the small intestine, and honestly, this is where the real magic happens. All those powerful compounds from the pomegranate, I'm talking about things like polyphenols and antioxidants, they get absorbed right here. They pass straight through the intestinal walls and officially enter your bloodstream to start their work across the entire body. And this is it, the final step of the physical journey, distribution. Once they're in the bloodstream, these little power-ups are carried everywhere. They're zipping through this huge network of arteries and veins, reaching your organs, your brain, your muscles, getting ready to do their jobs.
So the delivery is complete. Now what? Well, in Section 2, we're going to unpack all those famous benefits. What exactly are these powerful little compounds doing now that they've reached their destinations?
We're going to focus on 4 key areas where these compounds from pomegranates can give you a serious boost: your brain, your muscles, your gut, and of course your cardiovascular health. Let's take a closer look at each one. Let's start right at the top, with the brain. Up here, these incredible compounds called antioxidants get to work. I want you to think of them as your body's own personal cellular bodyguards. They protect your neurons from damage and stress, and that protection can help your brain's signals fire more clearly, which might support better cognitive function and that feeling of mental sharpness. Okay, now let's look at your muscular system. Those same streams of nutrients flow directly to your muscle fibers. This is super important for helping you recover after a workout because it helps manage inflammation. It also supports your overall strength and endurance. And down in your gut, it is all about balance. Pomegranates are absolutely packed with these specific plant compounds called polyphenols. And these guys act like prebiotics, which is basically just food for the good bacteria in your gut microbiome. And keeping those little guys happy and well-fed helps create a healthy, thriving ecosystem inside you. And finally, when you put it all together, all these benefits really add up to a boost for your entire system. We're talking better support for your cardiovascular health, that's your heart and your blood vessels, and a great source for some sustained, vibrant energy. It all sounds pretty incredible, doesn't it? A simple glass of juice delivering all these amazing benefits. But, and you knew there was a but coming, with a lot of things in nutrition, the story isn't always quite that straightforward. Which brings us right to Section 3. You know the old saying, the dose makes the poison? And it is absolutely possible to have too much of a good thing. So let's flip the coin and look at what happens when consumption goes from moderate to, well, a little excessive. Yeah, when we overdo it, a totally different set of effects can pop up. We could be looking at some stomach irritation, maybe the risk of allergic reactions for some people, a big-time blood sugar spike, and you know it, the inevitable crash that comes after. Hey, remember how the juice first entered the stomach? Well, if you drink way too much, that same acidity can actually start to irritate the stomach lining. It can lead to the kind of redness and mild inflammation you're seeing right here. And for a small number of people, the body can just react negatively. An allergic reaction to pomegranate can actually show up on the outside, looking like inflamed red patches on the skin. It's just a reminder that everybody's body is different. Now this is a big one: sugar. Look, even 100% natural juice with 0 added sugar is still a very concentrated source of it. Drinking a lot all at once can just flood your bloodstream with glucose, causing this huge, dramatic spike in your blood sugar. It can be a real shock to your system. And what goes up must come down. After that intense sugar high, your body has to work overtime to bring your blood sugar back to normal. And that whole process often leads to the exact opposite effects: a feeling of fatigue, sluggishness, the classic energy crash. We've all been there.
So, we've seen the incredible benefits, and we've looked at the potential downsides. So, how do we put all this together? Well, in our final section, we're going to find the balanced truth.
And here it is, plain and simple, side by side. On one side of the scale, you've got that amazing antioxidant power, supporting your brain, your muscles, and your gut. But on the other side, you've got the risks that can come with going overboard: irritation, allergies, and that sugar roller coaster. It's a pretty clear picture of why balance is so important.
And that really brings us to our final thought here. Maybe the real secret of a superfood like pomegranate isn't just what's inside of it, but in how we choose to use it. Enjoying the whole fruit gives you fiber to help with the sugar, while just a small glass of juice can be a really potent source of those good compounds. It's all about moderation, context, and just listening to your own body. Something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this journey.